Hey everyone, it's Harry the Soul Coach, and today I thought I'd come on and do a bit of a continuation from the back of my CIA video that I did yesterday. On the CIA video, I show you how the CIA are the good guys, and I also use the Q post to back up and also share how I do my research. And it's been quite interesting to watch the reactions from those videos. And we're at a stage now where it is so clear and obvious when people haven't watched the video. They make a comment, they make an opinion, but they haven't watched the video. And it continues to happen. And it baffles me because on video sharing platforms like YouTube, like Rumble, surely you'd go and watch the video. And it's the arguments that come back after. It's the negativity. And then in some cases, they delete their message because they know they're in the wrong. So I've done further research since, because what took place last night was Donald Trump actually posted Spygate exposed. And on the cover photo is a Fox News piece with Jesse Walters. And on that photo was Obama, Hillary Clinton, and John Brennan, and talked about the CIA spying on them in 2016. Spoke a lot about Brennan yesterday, and he hasn't really been in the news at all. So I figured that all this stuff is the big, real important stuff to awaken the masses, and we have to be shown the truth. So I'm going to go through some of the Q posts where it's just focusing on Brennan, and you're going to see some of these posts are so important. I've managed to put it all together now. Whereas before, I really struggled at certain things. There was little code words which I was not too sure of what they meant, and there was a lot of things missing. Whereas now, after looking at Brennan and understanding that these three-letter agencies, the people at the top, were all the traitors. And when you start connecting it all and looking at the links that they do send, it's obvious. It's so obvious. And what also is so important for us to look at this research, because I'm going to ask you guys actually, who actually does research in the truth movement? Who actually does any research on these Q posts? Because I'm still looking. It's almost like no one's willing to do the research. And then you've got certain names that get thrown around as traitors, as evil. General Flynn. General Flynn's a hero through this, and General Flynn is a master of fifth generational warfare. If you just read his book, you'll see all the things that take place within fifth generational warfare. And the pages that continue to say that he's a traitor, they're the ones that do the research, but there's no face behind these pages. And I'm telling you, those pages are CIA pages, the good guys, doing this on purpose because it's leading people down a path. The negative people that are hiding in plain sight, panicking, they need to latch onto anything that distracts people from the truth. Also, these people are not willing to do the research because they don't know what's about to come. We're in this awakening, and it feels like it has been dragged out for a long time. We can all be honest, and we assumed things would have been over a lot sooner. In fact, in some cases, Donald Trump wins the election in 2020 and life completely changes. That was kind of what we all were led to believe. And many people that broke away in the truth movement hide him. And they become the experts of sharing information and telling you what's going on and giving you dates. And they've been wrong so many times. And now it's like they've just kind of blended in, and they got their own little things to focus on. They become experts, healers, energy workers, light workers, all this sort of stuff, but they're not paying attention to the truth. And the longer it's dragged out, the more that we are finding out what has been going on. So General Flynn has been a huge threat for the Obama administration. That's the reason why they set him up in the first place. But in a video that I shared before, a conference of a truth tour, a lot of the truthers at that tour were really triggered by General Flynn too, and they were talking about taking him out. General Flynn's mixed with so many people within the mainstream truthers, and when you look at these pages saying, look, he's with him, they're corrupt, and he's with them, the people that he's with's corrupt, but General Flynn's being used for that reason, to bring more awareness to these people. And these pages that continue to say he's bad, they do the research and they put loads of stuff out there, and people follow that religiously. And all these pages also then say Lin Wood is the good guy, and they always quote Lin Wood. Lin Wood's not a good person, but they've used that character because that it is a character. People try to defend Lin Wood, and He's been unwavering support for Donald Trump. That's Lin Wood's word on that page. But you can't find one real video of Lin Wood for the last 2 years, not one. And it's almost like mocking and toying people to say, come on. Keeps posting photos of cows and dogs, and then when I make these comments, and you can go back, look at Lin Wood's past, look who he's defended, some horrible pedophiles. Go and have a look at his past. He's not a nice guy, but they've used that character to be able to then call out people that are bad, and no one can really argue with it then. So General Flynn is kind of like a name that can be attached, but he's a danger and a threat. So the post that I'll show today, you'll be able to see that. So that's a bit another confirmation. Also, Donald Trump actually pardoned him. To do that, that's with the law. Like, it doesn't go against the law. All of this is done by the rule of law. So there's a reason for that too. So is there anyone else that does research? Can you think of anyone? Because I'm looking, I'm still trying to find, and it's almost like they're not willing to. So I'll go through a few of the posts today. This isn't a long one, but I just feel if we break them down and we go line by line, and there's a few questions that are asked and that I can answer them now. There's a few name abbreviations, I can answer them now. And it puts the little special counsels of the John Brennans, the James Comeys, the James Clappers. It puts them all under one umbrella, and you can start seeing where the lie's taking place and why. So I'll go straight into it, because this stuff, the fact that it was in the news yesterday, is only going to continue now. The news, though, said CIA was spying. Well, John Brennan was CIA. So if we still get attached to, oh, CIA are bad, go watch the video. I'll leave the link up here again. Just watch that one. Watch it all the way through, though. Yeah, but they were trafficking drugs and they were killing JFK. Just watch the video first. Like, these are all things that we've all been told. If you watch the video, you'll see that they're all part of the criminal organizations. They infiltrated them. They would help get some of these things and deals go across, because then they can take ownership and control of it. You control from the top and you work down. And then at the bottom that feed the top, they're now dealing with people that are in control that they don't know. It's a whole military operation. So when we keep hearing stories about what the CIA did, and you just repeat what you've heard before, it's changed. This awakening has changed. It has to have happen like that, because it was information before, but there's so much more to add to it now, and people are not willing to look. And it's the cognitive dissonance that kicks in from that. And it's frustrating, because people use this term truther, and I've been awake for this long and this many years. When people say that, I'm like, yeah, exactly. You need to pay attention now then, because it's you guys that have got the information from the wrong perspective. It's you guys that are still holding on to that and without changing and not willing to look. So we'll come on. There's about 4 posts that I really wanted to share, but I just might as well just go for a few of them. So I typed in Brennan, and 46 posts come up. So this lady is called Gina Haspel, and Donald Trump, after Brennan, then Pompeo, then Donald Trump inserted her as the CIA boss. And John Brennan actually endorsed her. It's like, why would Brennan endorse him? We'll come on to another post. And I was trying to think of, like, why would Trump put him in there? But if you think about an organization and the one at the very top that has to make the decisions, then it all falls on that person. So by putting that person at the top, they can't do any dirty work themselves. They have to give orders. So if you just then track that person, you can see who they talk with. You can see who they're corresponding with. You can go and track their conversations down. Also, this lady has a past work in the UK, and you're going to see how it all ties in. So first one, just to, again, bring a bit of clarity on, this is a post which clearly shows there isn't any other post like this on the Q post. John Brennan treason, John Brennan treason, 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 suggesting, and they put it on a number of times, he's not a good person. Makes that quite clear. So then there was one that says why it matters. Graham has now, and this is Lindsey Graham, his name will come into the name soon, has sweeping authority to subpoena documents and more than 50 individuals related to the Russia investigation, including FBI Director James Comey, CIA Director John Brennan, and former Director of National Intelligence James Clapper. So those three names are going to come up a lot. But Lindsey Graham in the Senate was given the responsibility to it. And remember, the Senate are also controlled by these people, because it's the Senate that then make the decisions. And you can see they were voting yesterday to give more money to Ukraine. And it's really showing the people now it's so corrupt. They have to keep the lie going. So these people would then control them. And it's the Senate and then the Speaker of the House that decide what they would investigate in, what they would hold on, and then what the final decisions are. And what would happen is certain big cases would get brushed aside. It'd get left. It'd get delayed. And I'll show you another tactic they do. They put in councils so they can hide and freeze information. So a special counsel for January the 6th. There's also a special counsel for here. So one thing that I'm still not familiar with all the names of the different investigations. I know you've got the Russia collusion, you've got Crossfire Hurricane, and you've got all these different, they're all going to link. And one of the posts shows you, well, if they're all wrong for this one, then everything else has to be wrong because it's the same people. So if you read this one, finally, now we can reveal hearings instead of the sham scam hearings in the Democrat-controlled House. Logical thinking. Do you hold hearings before or after select items of D-class? How do you exert maximum pressure publicly? So this is the narrative being set at the moment. So they don't do the investigations. Look, Senate was the target. Who's running for Senate at the moment? Very vocal about it, but not really talking about anything was going on. Carrie Lake. Senate was such a target for them, and that she's complete cartel funded. She failed miserably in that governor race, and now she's going for, and all she does is what Democrats do. They point to someone else and like, look what they're doing, look at what they're not doing. Joe Biden, Ruben Giuliani, and Kristen Selmer, I think. All I see is posts about those three people. Never heard of her speak about those two before, ever. And now she's talking about them all the time because she can't talk about herself. It's projection. So, intelligence was manipulated by Brennan. Watch the news. These links don't work, but this is the post here, and I'll zoom in this one when I edit this video. So this is relevance regarding Susan Rice, a top secret D-class paragraph, and I'll read it. From a national security perspective, Comey said he does have some concerns that the incoming NSA Flynn is speaking frequently with the Russian ambassador Kislyak. Comey said that could be an issue as it relates to sharing sensitive information. President Obama asked Comey was saying that the NSC should not pass sensitive related to Russia to Flynn, and Comey said, potentially. What was really discussed during the January 5th meeting? I've got a whole documentation of that because Donald Trump released it. He declassified it before he stepped down. So we'll go on to that in a minute. So Obama order preventing sharing the intel to Russia. So Obama knew what was going on. So it all leads up to Obama. Would such an order shield Obama admin from discovery, re the Obamagate? So we've got Obamagate, which is meant to be 1,000 times worse than Watergate. You've got Spygate, Pfizergate. It's all going to be the same stuff. Would such an order shield Clinton camp from discovery, re the Clinton DNC Russian collusion? So like I showed you on the video yesterday, one of the key posts said, the question above should scare every single American, because she somehow got classified information off of the server onto a home server. John Brennan. So I'll read it a bit more. Would such an order be known to the president or classified? NSA Mike Rogers stepped down. When was his retire date? NSA Mike Rogers SCIF, which is the secret meetings, secure date. Brennan Clapper Carter pushed the termination of NSA Mike Rogers. Mike Rogers and General Flynn are like that. Mike Rogers stepped down, and he also had a meeting with Donald Trump during the Obama time, and the Obama team went absolutely mental because he didn't tell anyone that he was meeting based on the transition. So look, Brennan, Clapper, and Carter were all pushed to terminate, and this is what they said in the Washington Post: the heads of the Pentagon and the nation's intelligence community have recommended to Obama that the Director of National Security Agent Admiral Michael S. Rogers be removed. The recommendation delivered to the White House last month was made by Defense Secretary Ashton B. Carter and Director of National Intelligence James Clapper, according to several US officials familiar with that matter. How do you circumvent the shadow intel community? And there's a click on here, which we'll go on to in a minute. Critical thinking. What did Susan Rice declass on a January 5th meeting? Russia intel hold. How do you add layers to protection? Install a special counsel to lock, in brackets, freeze everything regarding Russia. Instruct and coordinate WNSC intel community Adam Schiff's at arm's length to initiate a whistleblower allegations 1 to 9. Donald Trump's talking about Adam Schiff today as well. Instruct Congress to file articles of impeachment. Coordinate with China to terminate econ unemployment gains. Initiate lockdown due to health concerns. Push fear through the Democratic media. Instruct governors under control to enact vote by mail. Coincidence, January the 15th. Impeachment articles delivered to Senate held. Look, watch this. China, phase 1, USA clawback deal signed. First COVID-19 case landed Seattle, all assets deployed. Win by any means necessary. Everything is at stake. Welcome to the shadow presidency of Barack Obama. So it seems like they were involved with the whole releasing of the COVID thing as well. They told the Democratic governors to vote by mail. Remember, that was a big push. Mainstream media also helped push that. And it said, coincidence, January the 15th, the impeachments were delivered to the Senate, which has been held. The China phase 1 USA clawback deal was signed. I'm going to find out who did that deal. The first COVID-19 case landed in Seattle, all assets deployed. Win by anything necessary. So let's go to the link first of all that is sent. So Trump White House, weighing plans for private spies to counter deep state enemies. This was the link. Blackwater founder Eric Prince, a former CIA parliamentary officer, and Oliver North want to make an 80s style covert action great again. The Trump administration is considering a set of proposals developed by Blackwater founder Eric Prince and a retired CIA officer with assistance from Oliver North, a key figure in the Iran-Contra scandal deal, to provide CIA Director Mike Pompeo and the White House with a global spy network that would circumvent official US intelligence agencies, according to several current and former US intelligence officers and others familiar with the proposal. The sources say plans have been pitched to the White House as a means of countering the deep state enemies in the intelligence community seeking to undermine Donald Trump's presidency. So they've had to try to go around outside of US jurisdiction to be able to do this. The creation of such a program raises the possibility that the effort would be used to create intelligence apparatus to justify the Trump administration's political agenda. Pompeo can't trust the CIA bureaucracy, so we need to create this that reports just directly to him, said a former US intelligence officer with first-hand knowledge of the proposals. In the describing White House discussions, it is a direct action arm, totally off the books, this person said, meaning the intelligence collected would not be shared with the rest of the CIA or larger intelligence community. The whole point is supposed to report to President and Pompeo directly. So they're going to go behind Trump's back to do it all. North, who appears frequently on Trump's favorite TV network, Fox, was enlisted to help sell the effort to the administration. He was the ideological leader brought to lend credibility, said the former senior intelligence official. Some of the individuals involved with the proposal secretly met with the major Trump donors, asking them to help finance operations before any official contracts were signed. Can you see how bad it was? All going against Trump. The proposals would utilize an army of spies with no official cover in several countries deemed denied areas for current American intelligence personnel, including North Korea and Iran. The White House was also considered creating a new global rendition unit meant to capture terrorist suspects around the world, as well as a propaganda campaign in the Middle East and Europe to combat Islamic extremism in Iran. I can find no evidence that this ever came to the attention of anyone at the NSC or the White House at all, wrote Michael Anton, a spokesperson for the National Security Council, in an email. The White House does not and would not support such a proposal, but a current US intelligence official appeared to contradict that assertion, stating that the various proposals were first pitched at the White House before delivered to the CIA. The Intercept reached out to several senior officials that sources said had been briefed on the plans by Prince, including Vice President Mike Pence. His spokesperson wrote, there was no record of Prince ever having met with or briefed with the Vice President. North did not respond to the request and the comment. So according to two former intelligence officers, Pompeo has embraced the plan and lobbied the White House to approve the contract. Asked for a comment, a CIA spokesperson, you have been provided wildly inaccurate information by people peddling an agenda. At the heart of the scheme being considered by the White House are Blackwater founder Eric Prince and his longtime associate CIA veteran John McGuire, who currently works for intelligence contract group Amiator Group. McGuire also served in Trump's transition team. Amentor's role was first reported by BuzzFeed News. Michael Barry, who was recently named NSC Director for Intelligence Programs, worked closely with Prince on a CIA assassination program during the Bush administration. Prince and McGuire deny they are working together. Those assertions, however, are challenged by the current and former US officials and Trump donors who say the two men were collaborating. As with many arrangements in the world, CIA contracting and clandestine operations, details of who is in charge of various proposals are murky by design and change depending on which players are speaking. An amateur official said Prince was not formally linked to any contract to any proposal by Amateur. In an email, Prince rejected the suggestion that he involved with the proposals. When asked if he has knowledge of this project, Prince replied, am not part of any of those alleged efforts. And it goes on a lot more. So you can see they were really panicking. But this is the one where Trump declassified the full Susan email sent out on the inauguration day. So the email describes on January 5th, 2007, Oval official meeting about Michael Flynn and the Russian interference in the 2016 election. That on this day, President Trump's inauguration, outgoing National Security Advisor Susan Rice sent herself an email that has since drawn intense scrutiny from the Republicans. Now, the full text of the email has been declassified and Politico reviewed it. It says then that FBI Director James Comey worried about sharing classified information with Trump team because of the incoming National Security Advisor Michael Flynn's frequent conversations with the Russian's ambassador. But Comey had no knowledge of Flynn sharing classified information with the envoy. So it's all lies, people, all lies. Republicans have seized on the document as potential evidence that the outgoing president has been ordered the FBI to spy on the new administration, as Trump has alleged. And they have raised questions about the unusual nature of Rice memorializing the conversation in an email to herself, suggesting that in warning Comey to proceed by the book, Obama was implying that the top law enforcement officials had done the opposite. Meanwhile, a spokesman for Rice said it shows the Obama administration handled the Flynn situation appropriately. So they're all lying and trying to cover for each other. The email, most of which was declassified, describes January 5th Oval Office meeting that followed up on the intelligence briefing about the Russian interference in the 2016 election. Attendees included then President Obama, Comey, Sally Yates, who was the acting Attorney General, Vice President Joe Biden, Rice, who was Flynn's predecessor in the job. The email, which memorialized the meeting 2 weeks after it happened, said Obama wanted to be sure every aspect of this issue is handled by the intelligence and law communities by the book. Remember the people who was there then. The president stressed that he is not asking about initiating or instructing anything from a law enforcement perspective, the email continued. He reiterated that the law enforcement team needs to proceed as it normally would by the book. The newly declassified portion describes Comey's response. Comey affirmed that he is proceeding by the book and it relates to law enforcement, Rice wrote. From a national security perspective, Comey said he has some concerns with the incoming NSA. Flynn is frequently speaking with the Russian ambassador. Comey said that this could be an issue as it relates to sensitive information. So this is the bit where I just shared on the Q post at the start. So can you see how it's all starting to add up? So let me go back to the post again. So coming on to Brennan, was the DNC was hacked by Russia? CIA Brennan forced out by Trump. Seth Rich International DL hand-to-hand pass USA. If the FBI chain of command was corrupt, what other investigations were corrupted? Who did they provide cover for and how far back did it go? So this bit's key. So look, I'll come down. And he said, like Q said, he made an error there. That's why I was a bit stuttering trying to walk to it. So look, this was the bit here I was going to show. So it's the FBI chain of command for the mid-year investigation. So FBI Director Comey at the top and Chief of Staff Jim Riskalaki. Underneath Comey was Mccabe and a guy called Mark Giuliano. Special Counsel Lisa Page. Mike Steinbach was NSB AD. You have Jim Baker as the Office of General Counsel, Fisher Anderson, and then you've got Agent Lead Pete Serzak. And if you watch this, look, so when Trump come in, and people say nothing's happening, well, look what happened. FBI chain of command mid-year investigation. FBI chain of command, Pfizer, Russia, POTUS, Flynn, Stone, Papadopoulos, and Manifest. And the bridge was the CIA Brennan intel to access the Ukraine link. So the FBI chain of command, the DNC hacked, was the bridge was also with Brennan. So you've got the Clinton foundations there, you've got Ukraine in there, and you've also got Roger Stone's name in there, which is the same group we say Roger Stone Bros as well. So look, if the chain of command plus the DOJ, CIA, F&D found guilty indictment chap 115, class 1 to 99, USA versus Pfizer, can the same argument be made for the mid-year and DNC? It's the same people. Look, so all the people on that link that was all like part of the infrastructure FBI, look, for optics, retired or left refers to fired or forced out. This is when Trump come in. So James Comey fired, Mccabe fired, Jim Mccabe fired, James Baker fired, Bill Penstrap, Director of Counterintelligence, Sturkos boss fired, Peter Sturkos fired, Lisa Page fired, Mike Corton fired, Josh Campbell fired. So back to that last line. RE Pfizer, can the same argument be made because it's the same people? Brennan has the link. Then you've also got the Clinton foundations. You've got Ukraine. It's all one thing. It's massive. General Flynn, Roger Stone. And then why did they make Haspel director for a specific reason? Look, Brennan tapped directly for support. So that woman who come in as CIA director after Pompeo, Brennan's obviously now communicating with her. Brennan, class, secure division, spy. If the CIA was running a black ops, which is what we just said, spy team in the UK would Haspel's station chief be informed and instructed? MI6, meetings with Durham. The only way to restore faith is through transparency and accountability. So this is where the UK come in, and there's a post that actually talks about the UK being panicky too. So let me just go down. They look, one of them, banking on the Hillary Clinton win. You never thought she would lose. Banking on Brennan to bring you home. You never expected a new DIR to be appointed. Agency rogue elements still in control of Op. No. Gina, ex-UK division, open attacks. What do you have left to sell to Russia to retain your safety and security? Welcome home, Snowden. So Snowden was the last one. And what's quite interesting before, as a CIA director, you still had access to all of the declassifications and stuff. You had access to log into all that. Trump stopped that with Brennan. And then Brennan went out and said, oh, Trump's out of order for doing it. This is bad for the American people. So the one that I showed you yesterday where they were spying on Senate and stuff as well. Let me just see if there's anything else I needed to, but they were the key ones. It's the same people, Comey, Clapper, Brennan. Same time, same surveillance, same Ukraine, Hillary Clinton, and Trump got rid of all of them. Let me see if there's any more. Yeah, so this one here, the treachery revealed by Comey, Clapper, and Brennan, RE requires accountability. That can only happen through a federal grand jury investigation headed by John Huber, the US attorney in Utah who has been appointed to investigate the FISA criminality by the Obama FBI and DOJ. Trust Huber. We've been told that too. And then it says, what was Brennan's background with Saudi Arabia, which is the head of the snake? I haven't looked at some of these ones here, so I'd still need to do it all, but I just wanted to go through again. Look, when it's mentioned 3 times, it's like you've got to pay attention. So this one 3 times, it said add Brennan to the graphic. Evil has no place here. Panic. There is a real as it gets. No escapes, no deals. And then it's panic in DC. Truth revealed the tarmac. There was a meeting on the tarmac at the airport. Truth revealed Comey, Hillary Clinton email case. Truth revealed Hussein instructions regarding the email case. Truth revealed Brennan, John McCain called to frame POTUS. Pfizer starts. Pfizer brings down the house. When do birds sing? So when all this starts going, this is what I think a lot of these criminals are waiting for too, because that's when it's just a snowball effect. Then it goes on to Obama being funded by the Saudis, and Brennan should be very nervous in that. John Kerry, Merkel should be very nervous, plus 29 other people. How were their pallets of cash divided with the shadow agency directed operations? So you can see a lot of stuff was going on without even knowing. And I'm just trying to see if I can get one more. So it might be confusing for people, but I'm hoping it also connects a lot of things to show you that you wouldn't get any of this information if you didn't have the Q posts. So read Five Eyes, avoid US data collection laws, Obama, public dossier, Pfizer, not public, Five Eyes, UK, Australia. President is targeting using push Russia decoy meetings, campaign insertions. Obama, Hillary Clinton, LL, Brennan, Clapper, National Security, White House, SIT, RM, OP, UK, Australia, assist the setup. So they're all involved. That's all with the election fraud too, the 2016. So this is the last one, and then I'll cut it off today. But look, what if the UK government worked hand in hand with the Hussein admin to sabotage the 2016 election? Data collection, voice video bugging, creation of fake intel dossier using ex-spy, co-sponsor insurance policy, RE, president election. PS, LP, no name, John McCain, Clapper, Brennan, Rice, LL, Hillary Clinton, BC, Hussein, plus 22 other people. What if the intel masked penetrations to frame Russia, CrowdStrike servers, SR, JA? Why does the UK government desperately want JA? Think source files. The more you know. JA is Julian Assange. We're going to see his name come up quite a lot soon as well. That's why they were desperate to get him, because they were all involved in it too. Let me just see if there's any more. Oh, there was a analysis corporation company set up, and John Brennan was actually the founder, founded in 1990, was the intelligence solutions business to global defense technology and systems, now renamed Sotera Defense Solutions. Since its inception in 1990, TAC has been working on projects in the counterterrorism and national security realm by supporting national watch listing activities as well as other CT requirements based in McLean, Virginia. Founded by Brennan, like exclamation, track edits, watch the magic bot. So they've been working on loads of different things for a long time. And this was the last one, sorry. So we'll go on to here as well. Look, what do clowns do with the access codes and tech? Who controls North Korea? Who really controls North Korea? What families are protected using leverage, bank financial leverage, a nuke strike package leverage? Why is Iran protected? Why is Iran funded by the US? What news about Iran broke? Drugs? What about the WMDs? Why did Brennan and others provide false intel regarding North Korea capability, Iran tech, and nuke device? Plate full, have faith, Q. So when it is treason, treachery, it's the most sickening of things, and it's putting all of our lives in danger. Like this is movie like. This is James Bond like. These people were planning a complete destruction. 8 years of infiltration with Obama, and then 8 years of Hillary Clinton taking us all to war, getting it to the point where the Constitution wouldn't be able to exist because you was at war. It's the only way it ends. Is how it's still going to continue. It will go to war in that sense, so it does end. So then these people get taken away. It's a cleanup phase. So it's a duality in everything. So keep an eye now on the news with the Spygate, with the CIA, but pay attention to those three names because you're going to say FBI, they're bad. But trust Sessions, he's the FBI director, and people getting confused with all the January the 6th. They were involved in it. They're holding tapes. Yeah, they are. Because the people that turned up for January the 6th turned up to peacefully protest it as part of a plan. But they were involved of it to get Trump done still, and that was their alibi. We're going to turn up peacefully. We're going to enter the Capitol. Remember, the plan's by us. We set them up. So the people getting angry at the FBI, again, the truthers, and my friends are now in prison because of it. Yeah, your friends deserve to be in prison because you're part of the network, because you went there. It's all part of an agenda. At the same time, it's waking the masses up to say FBI are bad, because FBI are bad would then lead to James Comey, Andrew Mccabe. CIA are bad would lead to John Brennan, which then funnels back up to Obama. You need the names like that people recognize, because they don't know who John Brennan is, James Comey is. Normal people don't even know who these people are. So we're at that stage now where all of this is going to start revealing even more leading up to the elections. We're getting closer and closer to them all the time. We're seeing they're putting a lot of stuff on Biden. Biden's like a cover. Just like I'm saying Prince Andrew is a cover for Prince Charles. They're covers because underneath that is the real meaty bit. And we're going to start seeing some of the sickening things that went on at the top. And all of this, all these people, remember, they control every part of every criminal all the way down. So once it starts falling, then the people that are still operating crime in the streets now are going to get down and cleaned up too. So you can start seeing Flynn has to be a good guy. Even the Q posts say, 3-star general, we'll have you back. If you look at Flynn's brother, he's the 4-star general acting commander right now for the military, now in this war. His dad served with General Patton. Like, it's all obvious. Go read his book, and his new documentary is coming out soon as well. Be careful the pages on Twitter that keep calling him out, because they send a lot of research, but look at the people he's with. They're the ones you want to pay attention to. And when anyone quotes Lynn Wood, like, just have to let that go. I say let it go because I feel I can prove that he's not a real person because you don't see anything on there. However, this is all for your own journey too. It's just remember this stuff, because when certain things don't make sense, at least you can come back and reference this. And then you'll see, for me, it all ties together. It's obvious. So people, remember to subscribe to the channel. If you enjoy this, please leave comments as well. There's a loads of Q posts still that need to be gone through to clear up a lot more stuff. But it was just quite interesting, the fact that it was on Fox News after I put this out about Brennan. And it just gave me a bit of a kick to continue doing these, connecting the dots really on the Q posts. So I'm getting more excited because things are moving. I'm going to be doing a lot more of my spiritual soul coaching posts as always. And if you're interested, come and join our meditation community. It's £9.99 per month. And every week, 3 times a week at least, there's a live meditation call with myself. And there's something magical about doing the lives. And if you've yet to do any more meditations, go listen to my last one that I did. It's called The New World. And someone asked me, what's the new world look like? I'll tell you in the meditation. Just listen to it. If you don't want to go into a meditative state, you will anyway. Close your eyes and listen to it. And again, let me know how you get on. See you all very, very soon.